Be prepared, ma'am, if your son survives this aneurysm, he will be significantly disabled for the rest of his life. Well, he was right. I am differently abled, significantly differently abled. 49 years ago today, I was coming out of a coma, and the doctor asked me, "Where are you?" And I said, "Fifth floor, Ravden Clinic, University of Pennsylvania Hospital." The doctor's response was, "Yes, prep him for surgery." They did so. They took me downstairs and they removed my spleen. That was 49 years ago. My spleen was producing antigens that consumed my platelets. They continued pumping blood into me to give me more platelets. And after 89 transfusions, they said, "This can't continue. We've got to take his spleen." The neurosurgeon said he'll bleed out on the table. He's not stable enough because I had had a brain aneurysm, was in a coma. And then finally, there was a small window on the 4th of July where they could go in and do this procedure called the splenectomy. I tell you this story because as I look back on my life, in the line that has drawn me to this day here, this line was filled with decisions. Several decisions where I could have taken a detour from my destiny. Some part of me said, no, I'm not going to. And little did I know that I would be making this video on the 4th of July, 2026. Had zero idea. Had zero idea that I'd be a medical support clinical hypnotherapist, that I would have had a 26-year corporate career, that I would have written songs that really happened, that I would have had some of the significant challenges that I've had in my life, and that I'd be looking back with a sense of awe and a sense of gratitude for the life that I have gotten to live. My message is very simple. There's a road that you have taken that has gotten you to where you are now, in this moment. We can only connect the dots backwards, right? Well, actually, in our mind and our imagination, we can start to connect the dots forward. We can imagine, sense, and feel the life we desire. It's the life we deserve. What the mind of man can conceive and believe it can achieve. When I say man, I mean person. James Allen said it as, "The greatest achievement was at first and for a time a dream. The oak sleeps in the acorn, the bird waits in the egg, and in the highest vision of the soul, a waking angel stirs." Dreams are the seedlings of reality. And this takes a degree of faith and trust. Think about the last time you flew somewhere. You knew a couple of things. You knew the destination, you knew the departure airport, and you knew the intended date of arrival. That's about it. You didn't know the departure runway. You did not know the departure gate. You did not know the flight crew. You did not know the climbing altitude. He said, "Give me a ticket to thus and such a place." And the rest of it was faith. Some part of you was pulled in a future direction. This is, I imagine that this is the destination that I deserve to be in, that I desire to be in. How is life any different than that? I don't believe that it is. I believe that as we envision a future, we're going to attract that future, be it foul or clean. And we get to decide through the quality of our thoughts and the stillness of our awareness what that is. And it all starts in the nervous system. What do I need to believe is true in my nervous system in order to be in this place that I envision? What do I need to believe is true in my nervous system? How about safe? How about calm? How about relaxed? How about peaceful? And from that stillness, that still quiet voice comes out and says, yes, yes, yes. And you know that feeling. You know that feeling when you feel it. That yes. And isn't that a beautiful feeling? When you know that you know that you know? How about getting to that feeling more and more every day?
I just want to say I feel so much more lighthearted now than when I came in. Um, I came in feeling sleepy, tired. I don't want to do this. It's 5 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. What's he doing having a course at this time of the day? What's he thinking? Really? And once I got in and listened to the ladies and interacted and felt the vibe of the training. It was like, right, and it just kept lightening up all through the journey. It was as if I was on a hike, and at each stop, I was dropping off another load.
Hmm.
And now I just feel like I let go all the baggage, and I'm just really light, and my whole body is really feeling a flow. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. Yes, you are. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you all.
How about calming the mind for a moment to drop into the body, into the nervous system, into the neural network of the truth of who we are, and live there, and continually upgrade that frequency, that feeling tone that says yes. I have like an endless runway, right? I have a strong mind. The cool thing about a strong mind is that I am able to problem solve, and I've had a lot of practice with the problem solving in my life, folks. And I like to think of it as I've had a lot of practice with adjusting to my perception of life happening, life opportunities. You can't think your way out of an identity that lives in the nervous system. It's getting it from here into here. Bring it down into the body. What happens if it's not safe to be in the body? What happens if the body has almost left the planet 3 times? What happens if the body has been riddled with chronic illness? What happens if the body has had a long list of threatening challenges? And that's in the neurology, in the physiology, in the nervous system. All the more reason to calm the body. All the more reason to become more present with the moment that just passed. Not that moment, no. Not that moment, that one. That. You know the one I'm talking about. That one. And yeah, you might have to raw dog it until that becomes a habit. You might have to breathe and surround yourself with people that love you for who you are, and borrow from them until you're held in a place of grace. It says, I got you. It says, I've got you. And for you, yes, you, that I'm looking at right now, I've got you. You don't have to raw dog it anymore. There's others like you, and you are amazing. You are absolutely incredible. You're a miracle. You're a dream come true.
I've come to terms with it is that I was assigning that I was the victim and that no one had my back. I was having to go through all this alone because my Dr. Robert said some things that clarified stuff for me that I really get to embrace my Western medicine doctors because they are an integral part of my healing.
How about getting this awareness into the body, past the critical thinker, into the nervous system, by learning to suspend that disbelief, learning to calm that monkey mind through breath, induction, visualization, and reinforcement of positive ideas. This is called self-hypnosis, folks. Hypnos was the Greek god of sleep. People would go to a hypnos temple when they were suffering from an illness, and as they drifted off to sleep, a hypnos practitioner would speak positive things into their ear, knowing that the auditory nerve is always listening, right? The hypnos practitioner would speak positive, affirming words into the ear of their patient.
I have had a repetitive theme go through my head, which I don't always listen to, but a negative thing, which is when I feel trapped. Like, oh, I can't do what I want because of this or that or the other. And I'm talking about a big life way. This was a very deep hypnosis for me. And I noticed that I'm completely free. And which goes right to whichever statement we wrote. Well, say the negative self-talk is I'm entrapped in whatever situation. And the positive contradiction is I move freely through my world with strength, service, and creative expression.
So how about being your own hypnosis practitioner, learning how to calm the awareness, going into a sleep state, which is a relaxed state, and saying positive things to yourself over and over and over again, and visualizing this future which is now, because the future's now. In the subconscious mind, everything exists now. It's like a dog's breakfast. It's like when my dog Bodhi eats, he's going at 90 miles an hour with gusts up to 120.
Get your dinner.
Gone in 60 seconds. Everything's happening at once. Everything is now in the subconscious mind, and you can be here now. Yes. So on the 18th of July, which is 2 weeks from today, from 3 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time, I'm doing a self-hypnosis for identity reclamation. Let me explain what that means. Reclaim the identity, the truth of who you are, which is infinite potential. Start developing the practice of reclaiming the truth of who you are, which is infinite potential. 3 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. In the comments somewhere, my staff has placed a registration link. And if you're watching this video after the 18th, know that I do these once a month. It's a message in the comments, wait list, and my staff will get you a link to the next event. So until next time, this is Christian Raphael, Medical Support Clinical Hypnotherapist. Let's settle into your body and know that you're loved and you're lovable. Be kind, be well, be a blessing.
Get the hole. Get the hole. Get the hole. Get the hole. What's in the hole? Get the hole. Oh boy. Good boy.
Live like a puppy.